Hi, my babies. If you might feel like you'll get triggered from this, please take a step back and don't watch. I don't understand why the apps Lyft, the apps Uber are not having enough safety regulations and rules for the customers who use the app. Because there's just too many people that join Lyft as the person that's taking the people to wherever they need to go, and they don't give a thorough background check on these people, or they don't do enough to make sure that these customers are safe. Recently, I took the Lyft, right? And I was going to my regular 9 to 5 job at work. And like, this guy was just being mad strange. Driving all different types of places wherever they wanted to go, like kept taking me to the wrong turn. And it was at a point where I'm like, all right, it comes to a point that this guy really don't know where he's going, and he's a foreigner from a different country, and maybe he's having a hard time. So I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like, it's this way. You keep turning the wrong way every time I'm telling you it's this way, and it's not that way. I don't understand. Like, that's what I'm not getting. So, okay, I'm telling him that it's this way. He's trying to act like he don't understand me and where I'm coming from. So I'm like, at this point, you're doing it on purpose. And at this point, you're either trying to money farm, which my Loki told me, like, he was like, yeah, people be trying to money farm and stuff like that, be trying to, do a bunch of stuff just to have you pay more money by taking you the wrong direction, even though they know they're going the wrong direction. You know you're going the wrong direction, okay? So, like, why are you even taking me to the wrong directions again, and you see where you need to take me? So it's that, and it also could be possible attempt to kidnap, because I just don't understand. Like, it's so many weird, unusual drivers that I definitely got over the past few years using Lyft. And I would go report it. Mind you, Lyft doesn't have a phone number where you can call. Well, you can't just immediately talk to customer service. You have to go through the app and talk through the chat and physically try to get someone to speak to you. It's just so much you got to go through just to, report someone for being a PDF file, or report someone for being disrespectful. It's just so much you got to go through just to get that out. And I just feel like Lyft, Uber should have a lot of more safety tools. Like, have a button on the app to where if we are unsafe at the moment, or if we can't get out the car because the Lyft driver locked their doors, or if they are not who they don't look like their picture, we should have a button on the app to where we can push that John and immediately just ringing sign bells and everything just start, like, cops are already coming, that's what it should be. At least if we are going to go on the app, mind you, it's either we don't have a car, or where our car's in the shop, life situations happen, so they want to bring about these apps to make sure that we're secure and safely by having an app where we can have a person take us somewhere, and that and the third. But we should at least have an app, like a button on the app, to where if we are seriously unsafe, we don't have to go to the chat box button just to talk to an AI generated person. No, we need to have a button immediately where cops are showing up immediately. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, oh, what if people are pushing it for no reason, and they're not in need of help, or if they're doing this and that? Well, there should be punishment set where if you're continuously pushing the button and nothing is wrong with you, you don't have use of the button anymore. You cannot use it. You are restricted from using it. Just like they have restrictions on Instagram, just like they got restrictions on other Facebook or social media sites, there should be a restriction within that too. Because it's really a hard time just to get them to respond back to you when something bad has happened, or if the person is not stopping and not like letting you out the car, or they're coming off really weird, giving you like weird energy vibes. Like, you typically wouldn't ride with them if they were a taxi driver, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like so many complaints have filed up where actually I've been seeing on social media people have not made it out of like situations like that. Like, they actually came to a point to where like they didn't get to make it home after coming off of a long day from work. They just wanted to get in their Lyft, go home, this and that and the third. They didn't get to make it back because the person who was shown on the picture that was supposed to pick them up wasn't the person. And then they try to play little side games and try to get away with certain things, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, to protect like the community, the customers. Like, also you guys can comment down like in the comment section, like, what do you think can help with the situation, to where when people are really in need of help and actually need to talk to someone or actually need action, because some people don't always have their phone turned on, or sometimes like, you know, you can't get to your phone because now you're trying to run away, or the person trying to lock you in the car, so you don't have time to like go call, like, because you're in a situation where it's fight or flight mode, so you don't have time to go try to seek help when the person is like, okay, we don't care if you're trying to seek help, like, I'm trying to get rid of you, so I don't care if you're trying to call somebody for help. I'm gonna throw your phone or take you by the hand or do whatever to you at the moment, because I don't want you to call that person, and I don't care about crashing out and possibly getting caught on camera, because there are people like that. So like, you guys can like go in the comments and like just kind of like, what can help the situation, because I've said plenty of complaints since me being a user of Lyft and Uber, and it's like, I feel as though they don't see them, or if they see them, it's like why I gotta go through a long process just to kind of show you like, hey, I'm in danger. Like come on. Like, I get that you're trying to help the community, you know, people trying to get a car, or if their car's in the shop, or, you know, you're trying to help people get to point A to point B, point C, but you also need to make sure that we are safe as well. And speaking of all of that, you know, type of energy, and I want to just talk about something that's really like a sensitive topic, but I'm not going to get too deep, but I kind of want to like talk about the situation with Celeste and D4VD, which was definitely very sad. And, you know, I typically don't just try to judge someone or basically pin something on someone without full evidence, but spiritually and physically, and how I feel about this guy's #1 music video that went up the charts, and it kind of resembles this girl, I'm putting two and two together, and my conscience is telling me this ain't right. And it's not just me trying to just jump on the bandwagon of trying to criticize this person and blame this person for this person's, no, it's the truth, and it's right in front of my face, and I can't deny it. So like, I remember on TikTok a couple of weeks ago, I had actually talked about a soft, sensitive topic with my ex, who was from New York, right? And I remember just telling TikTok, like, yeah, me and this person, we used to be together or whatever. Even when we weren't together, I still would support and go to the performances. And me as an artist myself, I try to perform as well. And I used to always love to go to New York to perform or to do anything, because I'm a girl from a small town in Jersey. But at the time when I was younger, a few years ago, I just loved to do everything in the city. And I just loved the flashing lights and just the energy out there at the time. And I would always do my work out there, more in the story. So my ex at the time lived there, and that person would throw like rage parties, like parties where people can express themselves and rage out and get drunk, don't remember their name the next day or whatever. It was those type of events, including artists coming on the stage doing whatever God's know what. But okay, I didn't judge. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna judge, you know what I'm saying, because I believe in being different and unique in your own way. So it's like, I know that me in the industry, I'm surrounded by creativeness, so like, why not? And I want to get my music out here and, you know, have my music blossom and be able to perform and spread it out. To fast forward from that, this particular ex, like during 2022 2021, we did a song together, and the song was called, mind you, I definitely should have been aware, because as you know, we're in the tarot deck, I should have been aware that this was a transition for this person to try to eventually set me up. But we did the song, and in the video, I was told that I was going to, in the video, and this person was going to be like my knight in shining armor, lifting me up to take me to God knows where. And that's where the music video would end. But the reason why a few years later, now that I'm coming out about this and not typically telling you too much deeper details, because I'm going to save that for a next video coming up, to where I can actually tell you the full-blown story of this situation and how I can relate to the D4VD and Celeste. So I remember just going to, you know, the performance, and mind you, it was supposed to be in the woods. So the flyers were like, yeah, follow the trails, you know, go this way, go that way, and it was in the woods in the Bronx. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna be like a nice outside event, giving concert, giving like, all right, I'm supporting, you know, the movement and artists and stuff like that. You know, I always come with that type of energy. So I'm thinking like, this is gonna be that, like, my first time going to an outside event where I possibly can perform. I'm loving it. But I go there, I travel, you know, I'm from Jersey, so I'm coming all the way to Jersey to go to New York, and I go to this event, and I finally reach the woods of the Bronx, and I travel into the path to where I'm supposed to go, to where all the artists are going to be. This is where my ex is supposed to be, and this is where he's hosting it. As I go deeper into the woods, something is just like telling me like, don't step another foot. And mind you, not that I was already with someone who I thought was a friend, but this person was not who they claimed to be. And they used to call themselves Prince on Instagram. And after that day, the person changed their name on Instagram and all of that stuff. So that's how I knew it wasn't meant for me to make it back out when I came back into that party. And my ex had something to do with that, because as I was going through the path, like, there was people already like set up doing a ritual in a circle, like chanting around, like running around, like doing a ritual, speaking in a different type of language. But I can tell that it was not like a pure type of like ritual. It was kind of like really like sinister and eerie, because I felt it amongst me. And it was so many things that I was seeing that night, but I'm not going to get too deep in it, because I told you guys already I'm going to do a whole nother video on that situation. But more of the story is that my ex definitely tried to sack me to the industry for money, fame, and riches. And I never thought that could happen to me, because I'm just I'm a normal girl, you know what I'm saying? I thought that type of stuff doesn't really go down, you know. I've read about it, I have conspiracy theories about it, I do research about it. I've seen in the actual music industry how people just automatically got successful off of like deaths and stuff like that. So I was aware of that, but I didn't know it can come so close to home, and it actually involved me in it. And then I didn't notice that was going to actually go down until I like separated myself from the underground in the city and actually had time to really think about it after going through so many healing process and transitions, I just had time to really think, like, this person was really trying to, because he started off doing the music video where I ended up saving me, acting like he's picking me up to go take me somewhere, but that was planned and set for that to happen to me in the woods of his events. That was planned to happen to me in real time. I wasn't supposed to continue to make it on if that proceeded with it. And I'm gonna get deep with that in the next video, so you guys definitely stay tuned for that, because that's a topic that I definitely am gonna show in my next video, because that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I can definitely relate to that case, and I'm just telling you guys that that is real. Like, your lovers or whoever, like, if you don't do discernment, if you don't see people for the fruits that they carry, if you don't believe in your intuition when they tell you about a person off the bat, that could be your life, or just in general, you could find out the hard way, or, you know, it's bad. It's definitely bad. And just for her to be a young girl, a growing woman, who, of course, when we're young, we kind of want to be free. We don't want to, you know, be controlled, and we're just hoping for the best in our journeys. And the fact that hers was cut so short because of this evil's guy, this airy guy that had a sinister ending for her, because he already planned this out 3 years ago in his romantic homicide video. It was already planned and transitioned to happen. And I know that it's real because it almost definitely happened to me. Like, and just to see that this actually goes on in real time, I definitely warn you guys to definitely be careful, especially my music artists. Like, on the upcoming artists, the rising upcoming artists, definitely be careful in that situation. And my condolences go out to the family for that, because that's just, it's sad. It's definitely sad. And that's where I'm gonna kind of like end it with that, by just putting out a fair warning that that is real, that actually happens, and to definitely be careful and use your discernment for sure, even with your lovers, for sure. And look at the signs. If they, like, look at the signs, you know what I'm saying? Look at the signs, because that'll save you. Especially if the person you're with is showing you signs. Take it to heed. Definitely do. And just in the midst of, while we were talking about the music industry and we're talking about the lane of the underground in general, like, I really just do not like how some hosts that, you know, they throw events for artists to have a way to express themselves, go on stage and be able to share their music, but they disguise that behind with money farming, again, by trying to get your money by having you pay at the door, pay online, and if you can't pay online, you got to pay at the door extra. And if you got your fans that are coming to your show, if they didn't purchase a ticket online, then all of them have to pay each by the door extra, like things of that nature, rules of that nature. Like, the music scene in the music industry is supposed to be something where artists feel free to thrive and we all support one another. All artists get paid. If the host and everyone's getting paid, all artists that show up should get paid too. They should not be coming to an event. They had money on their way to the event, but now that they're there, they're broke as a joke, because they spent all their hard-earned money for this event, and you're just milking them and eating it and milking it. Like, how is this unity and support when you're willingly taking these people money, not at least reimbursing these artists for their time, because for them to get ready, for them to practice their performance on stage, for them to bring their energy and their music to the scene, they should get reimbursed, or at least all should get reimbursed. Like, why are they leaving the event broke as a joke, or feeling as though they lost it, but at the same time we get like, okay, promotion is good, to get your name out there is good, etc., etc., but you gotta know that your time, your energy is sacred. When you come into a place, you bring abundance to that place. Your aura is like immaculate, which needs to be honored. And these people are not honoring these artists. They're trying to scam, get quick rich money schemes, and paint it as support and unity and all of that stuff. Like, that's how they like to paint that, as they're stealing all your money, as they're taking up all your money. Okay? And then for the one that's paying the most money, they will have them, they will praise them. And mind you, the person can be talented or not have so much talent at all, or, it doesn't matter, as long as they're paying the money. Like, money talks for real. So as long as they got that much money, then they get that much praise. And whatever artists that actually do truly want to perform can't perform because they didn't have that much amount to get into the door or to perform on stage. How is that working together or supporting upcoming artists that are coming up from the ground up? How is that supporting one another if we can't come to, like, common grounds with the community, and you're not trying to milk them out of their money? Like, it's just different little schemes that when you go down this line in the industry, you definitely need to watch out for and be aware of, because every generous offer is not always what it seems. It's not always what it seems. And I just kind of wanted to shed light on that situation, because I just feel like it needs to be said. We're supposed to be supporting each other, and everybody should eat. Everybody should be able to eat and make money. The host or the people that's doing the event are making their money back after renting the space and doing all of this extra stuff. So why can't the artists and the people who are actually coming to the creative space also be able to get paid back for all the things that they had to spend, and the traveling fees and the parking space fees and things of that nature? If they're not going to get paid back in money, at least get paid back in forms of acts of support, like, but that's when it comes to people trying to be greedy and have the money just for their team or keep it for themselves and paint it as support and unity and trying to bring artists together, when in reality you're not. You're thinking greedy. That's not support. And then you wonder why certain people don't support others and things of that nature, because there's greed involved, and all the other 7 deadly sins that might come with it, depending on what type of people you're working with. And that's the game, that's the game of the music industry. But the music industry definitely have changed since the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. It definitely changed. And I just kind of want to get into the space, because I'm in the underground, and I don't mind sharing my music, getting paid for what I love to do, and being able to provide for my family, and being able to support and awaken the world as I go. Like, I don't mind doing that, because that's actually a passion of mine, and I truly believe in that. And I want the music and the art world to transform into like just a space where people can come together and create. It doesn't matter if you don't have enough money or if you don't have much of stage present. Like, we can all learn together, each one teach one. Ever heard of that? Like, that's kind of what I want the space to be like, or go back to how, but nothing can ever go back to how it was, especially back in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, how we were just actually, there was actual real pure talent. Like, people were actually getting famous for real pureness outside of the extra noise in the background. But you guys kind of get what I'm saying, and that's kind of what I would love for the music industry to feel like. Just a space to where we can be free and everybody's actually getting paid for their time or getting reimbursed for their time and their acts of service and their passion, you know? But that's about it. Like, that's what I really wanted to get off my head and kind of just deeply talk to you about. So this is kind of a short video, but yeah, I just definitely had to kind of shed some light on the situation. And as time go by, I'm definitely going to change the game in this music industry fair. And you know, I'm not Captain Saving. Like, no, I'm not about to be the one to have to just for everything to go copacetic. Like, no. Like, I've learned from watching superhero movies that, you know, the good ones always, you know what I'm saying? I didn't watch superhero movies and I didn't see what I need to see to know that I'm not here to try to save, like, I'm not here to be, no. I'm here to just speak my truth, speak it in my music and my art. And my tribe that sees me will follow, and the ones that know will follow. I am not forcing anybody to do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not forcing anybody to do nothing. I know that I can't control or change things or nothing. You know, I'm just here to, again, attract my tribe, and the ones that follow get me, and we shall continue to create greatness. Yeah.